Hey, Lee here, and welcome to the pull list for June 27th, 2012, presented by longboxradio.com. First up this week, we have the preview book, which will be for the month of September, coming out in July. On one side here, we have a little preview here for the Zero month from DC, which will be a whole month of Zero issues, explaining origin stories. We talked a little bit about this on the podcast last week. There we have kind of a teaser for the Superman first one. From what I can tell, all the covers are going to be the first issue of the DC New 52 with the main character kind of bursting it out of the cover there. So that's that there. On the other side, we have IDW kind of repping a new Ninja Turtles book they will be doing apparently. And of course, all the toys and fun stuff inside. So that's the preview book for this week. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty of the comics. From Dark Horse Comics, we have Resident Alien. This is number 2 of 3, or technically 4, because of that Zero issue I mentioned a couple weeks back. I like this. It's like Murder, She Wrote with a innocent alien who's just very curious about the goings-on of this town, where he's trying to solve a murder, and of course he's masked himself, so humans see him as another human being. But if the cover's any indication, apparently we're going to have some government types finding his crash and maybe getting onto him as well. So super cool book, actually. I do like it. That's from Peter Hogan, of course. So there's that right there. From DC, we have All-Star Western number 10, one of the New 52 books I'm definitely sticking with. I've dropped a lot this week. I think Aquaman I'm done with. Flash I got rid of, unless it's in here. No, I did. So that's it for those. I might pick up trades for those eventually, but as of right now, I'm just going to let them pass me by, because I pick up too many books, and, money's not tight, but I can't afford to buy all those books on a monthly basis. So anyways, here it is. All-Star Western number 10. Been super cool. We have a new side story starting off in this one too about Batlash, apparently. But super cool book. Great art, great writing since the beginning, so definitely one to check out. Before Watchmen, we get the Night Owl book. This is from J. Michael Straczynski, Andy Kubert, and Joe Kubert on art. So, I don't know. Of all the Before Watchmen books that have come out yet, I think Minutemen's the only one I'm actually going to continuously pick up. Silk Spectre, great art for that first issue, but I think I'm done with it. Comedian, same deal. The writing in that was just kind of weak. And that's from Brian Azzarello, so that was a little surprising to me. So Rorschach hopefully knocks it out of the park, and this one hopefully is pretty cool as well. So there's Night Owl there for you. Justice League number 10, with a very dark Justice League looking cover, which is coincidentally right here. But no, we have Jeff Johns, Jim Lee on art, of course, and then, of course, the Shazam stories continuing on in there. So that's Justice League, which is like the central book of the New 52 universe, so I'm going to be continuously picking that one up. Justice League Dark, however, this might be my last issue, being number 10. Seems a good place to jump off at a nice round number, but there it is. I do like Constantine, but in the team setting, I don't know about it. So, I might get onto Hellblazer, or if they spin off a Constantine book on it. So, with all the New 52 books, and they keep cycling out for these new books, like you heard on the last podcast, we're talking about what's coming next from the New 52. Constantine needs his own book. DC, do it up. All right, Spaceman. Speaking of Brian Azzarello, this is number 7 of 9. It's been a super cool, kind of quirky series. Kind of sci-fi, just kind of off the wall. I've definitely been praising this one on the podcast and whatnot. Super cool book, great art, and very interesting dialogue in that one. Marvel has re-released The Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man, so I finally get to see Spider-Man's origin story. And all you who don't want to pick up the book, July 3rd, you'll get to see where Spider-Man actually came from, which I think is something that people have been wondering for a very long time. Of course, I'm being sarcastic. So this is more or less a re-release of Amazing Fantasy 15, which was the first appearance by Spider-Man. So we got Steve Ditko, we got Stan Lee, we got Jack Kirby, and it's just good stuff. I mean, I probably will never own the actual Amazing Fantasy 15, so it's cool to kind of own this. So, they have reworked the art. The inking is actually different, definitely, from when this book was first introduced. So that's interesting. 12 cents when this book first came out. It's probably worth much more than that at this point. So that's super cool stuff, actually. So, one day you have kids or something like that, and you're like, hey, you want to see Spider-Man's origin? I don't have the thousands of dollars it costs to buy the actual book, but here's this, rip a page out of it. I don't care. It cost me $4. So there's that. It comes with a free digital copy as well. So I thought that was kind of cool, and I bought it. Whatever. Speaking of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 688, if you were thinking there was going to be a falling action from Ends of the Earth, there was one. It just wasn't in this book. It was in Avenging Spider-Man 8, with Spider-Man looking for the body of Silver Sable and then eulogizing her in a way. This one, we have the return of the damn Lizard. There he is. And coincidence that the Lizard is returning here in comic books with the movie also featuring the Lizard a week away? I don't think so, but that's a super badass cover there. And I don't know, Dan Slott's been knocking it out of the park, so really looking forward to that one, actually. And I was kind of over the whole Ends of the Earth thing anyway, so whatever. Coming from Mark Millar and John Romita Jr., we have a spin-off from Kick-Ass. It is Hit Girl issue 1 right there. Doesn't come with a digital copy, but I guess Icon Books don't. But they should get on that gravy train as well. But super cool. Kick-Ass's story himself is kind of done as of the end of Kick-Ass 2. If you read it, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But Hit Girl's got places to go and people to see and kill. So there she is. Incredible Hulk. Why am I still picking up this book? I don't know. It's so silly. I kind of want to see where it could possibly go. Jason Aaron's still in the book. Stay Angry, it's part 3. He's fighting Russian bears in space, and I'm not even screwing around. 2 issues ago, he was fighting a Mexican dog man, and the dog man was holding his own against the Hulk, which, figure that one out. Last issue, he was in Atlantis, and now he's in space fighting Russian bears. So, I mean, I don't even... Whatever. Okay, so Spider-Man. This is issue 2. Not Spider-Man, mind you. Spider-Man. Coming from Bendis and Pacelli. There it is. Super cool cover. I really, really like the first issue of this, and Mike Haynes agreed with me. Got a free digital copy there to give to him, so we can both review it on the next podcast. Super cool book. We have Peter Parker from 616 crossing over with Miles Morales from the Ultimate Universe, and they're meeting for the first time as of the... That's neat. They don't really do that in Marvel, so cool stuff. Check it out. Ultimates, number 12. Thor. Doing some crazy stuff on the cover there. This book's super heating up. Jonathan Hickman is, again, this is a book that you can't just jump into. You really have to have read it from issue 1, and even then you really have to have read when the Ultimate Universe started to pick up on everything, but Jonathan Hickman's good at that. And not in a Grant Morrison kind of way, where it's just like, hey, remember something that happened in the 70s? Thankfully, Ultimates just started about 10 years ago, so it's awesome. But that's that. So, super action-packed comic, looking forward to reading that one. And finally this week, we have Wolverine and the X-Men, number 12, also from Jason Aaron and Baccello on art. I love Baccello's art. Let me see if I can get a little taste here. This is worth picking up the book alone. He does super square faces, and it's a very, like, all the characters kind of have, it's hard to explain. I don't know. I can't really find just a character silhouetted. I don't know. I really like the art in this book, and I like the writing. So, I'm going to continue to pick it up. It's one of the only X-Men books I actually still read. I did read just X-Men and Uncanny X-Men, but I dropped both of those, and based on what's happening in AVX, I can't imagine what condition those books are in right now. So, that sucks. But, there it is. 2 more things this week, actually, as an added bonus. I have Lego Batman 2 for the PS3. It's also on the 360, Wii, 3DS, PSP, Vita, washing machine. I actually don't think it's on the PSP. But what you have here is the first Lego game with full voice acting. A lot of characters are actually voiced by familiar voice talent. No Kevin Conroy or Mark Hamill, of course, but I think Tara Strong's involved in this in some way. I could be absolutely wrong about that, but a lot of other cool voice work going on in there. So, super cool, which is a new thing for Lego games. If you played any of the Lego games, they are more or less cooperative. Just smash everything to bits. Platformers. This one, however, actually has a bunch of characters from the DCU, and it's probably the most complete superhero game I've seen since maybe Ultimate Alliance 1 or something like that. So, super cool. Check it out. If you have someone to play with, guys who want to get their girlfriends playing video games with them, this is definitely the place to go. There's also Harry Potter and Lego and stuff like that. So, for comic book fans, super cool stuff. A lot of cool characters. If you buy it new, you get a code that unlocks, like Shazam and Black Adam and Captain Cold and stuff like that. So, lots of more fringe characters, let's say. Also, Amazing Spider-Man, the video game. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's a movie game, so it's gotta suck, right? Well, it's developed by Beanox, and Beanox are the guys who did the previous 2 Spider-Man games, being Shattered Dimensions and Edge of Time, which, in their own right, are not great games, but at least they are guys who have developed a Spider-Man game before, not just some development company that makes, shovelware that's going to make a movie tie-in. So, this is actually out a week before the movie comes out, which is July 3rd when the movie comes out. This is an epilogue to that, so if you don't want the movie spoiled, don't play this game. If you are a long-standing Spider-Man fan, you probably already know what's going to go down in the movie regarding Gwen Stacy and her father and whatnot. And if you know what I'm talking about, it's exactly what you think. In this, Spider-Man is kind of rounding up a bunch of creations by Oscorp. I still don't know how Oscorp got its name, judging by the fact that Harry and Norman don't appear to be mentioned anywhere near. I don't know how that works, so looking forward to seeing the movie. It has an open world feel, which is super cool. If you remember the Spider-Man 2 video game or even Spider-Man 3, where Tobey Maguire was on horse tranquilizers while he was delivering his lines. Super cool. You're just swinging around the city. Not as fun to do in this, but has a lot of activity and you can still kind of screw around in New York and stuff like that, and it's a good time waster. So I actually do like this game, and Beanox took a lot of inspiration from Batman. Oh my god. The combat is exactly Batman's combat. A lot of the free-roaming aspects and how you move about the city is very similar to how you would in Batman. So I don't want to say it's a ripoff. I mean, it's a good formula, and they're actually kind of doing it some justice here with Spider-Man, so it's not bad. You get a bunch of cool alternate costumes from the comic book universe as well, so I do like this game, and I'll be talking a little more about it on the podcast, because that's what we do. We talk about comic books and everything to do with them, including video games. So not the worst movie tie-in in the world. If you can rent it, if you still live in a place where they rent stuff, go check it out. But that's comic books and video games, apparently, for this week. Back in next week with all the comics and stuff like that. We're going to try to get a podcast out to you for this weekend, the long weekend, of course. If you're in Canada, happy Canada Day. Next week, if you're in the States, of course, happy Independence Day. Throw in that Will Smith movie and just let it go. So, anyways, subscribe below, subscribe to the podcast. We'll see you again next week.